For some people, $10,000 a month is no big deal. For others, this amount of money would be life-changing. If you fit into this second category, then you need to watch this video. My name is Mike TheBurge, and I've had an ongoing interest in chasing systems for a few years now. I got serious about it in May of 2012 and started doing a lot of research. My game of choice is sports betting. Unlike other games where the odds are determined by random chance, the odds in sports are determined by the point spread, which is swayed by public opinion. I've learned that by gauging this crowd psychology, you can flip the odds in your favor. I've explored every angle I could think of, from bubble phenomenons to fixed games. I devised a theory I call the pendulum cycle, and effectively used it to make a 148% return on my investment in the NFL this year. I was doing all my own research, which was very time-consuming. I knew I was onto something, so I kept doing it despite the workload. I then came across something called the sports cash system. In the time since I started using them, I have more than doubled my win rate. I realized that I had discovered something extraordinarily powerful. I'm going to show you how to use this system to attain amazing results in a very short period of time for a really small amount of capital. Starting with just $500, you can be making $10,000 a month within 5 to 10 months. You can actually start with as little as $100. It will just take you a little longer. I will show you the mechanics behind it and how to maximize your growth by employing compound interest. So how are we going to accomplish this amazing feat? It sounds a bit fantastic. To accomplish this, you need a system that will double your money every 1 to 2 months. The sports cash system is that system. The sports cash system is based on something called the martingale system. This is also known as chasing or the progressive system. I have a very detailed explanation of the martingale system in my ebook, The Pendulum Cycle Theory, which I will give you for free. Just fill in your contact info in the box below this video and I will email it to you. I've also posted the chapter explaining the martingale system and several variations on my website, theultimateguidetochasing.com. The Cliff Notes version of this is to double your bet every time you lose until you win. I am about to get into a lot of math here, so please bear with me. The math is simple, so do not let it scare you. The bottom line is that this math can put money in your pocket. Okay, here we go. Here's a brief example of the martingale system. In this example, you have a bankroll of $150. You lose 3 times. This brings your bankroll down to $80. You win on the 4th bet. This erases the $70 you lost and gives you a $10 profit. You then start the process over again. This is the main appeal of the martingale system. When you win, it wipes out any previous losses and gives you a small profit. The sports cash system uses a 4-tier martingale system to bet on sports. The system must be modified to account for the vigorish or juice. When you bet on sports, you typically must bet more than the amount you are trying to win. If you were to bet on the Denver Broncos as -12 favorites over the Cleveland Browns, you would have had to bet $110 to win $100. You can bet any amount you wish, but the ratio remains the same, 11 to 10. This alters the amount you would need to bet to keep the martingale system profitable. Here is a 4-tier system modified to account for the juice. You multiply the first bet in the series by 1.1. If you lose, you then multiply the losing bet times 2.1 each time until you have a win. For this example, if you lose on the 4th tier, you cut your losses. The adjusted bankroll is $184.48 to win $10. Typically, people like to round numbers and lock into a certain amount. You might open an account for $200 and aim for $10 gains until you double your money. This would take 20 wins. You then aim for $20 wins until you double your money again. This is a sloppy method of compounding your profits. It will work, but you can go faster. To maximize the power of compound interest, you want to recalculate your target win, typically called a unit in sports betting, after every win that you make. For 11 to 10 odds, 1 unit in a 4-tier martingale system is roughly 5.4% of your bankroll. Here is how you calculate the optimal pricing for a 4-tier martingale system for $200. Step 1. multiply your bankroll times 5.4%. 200 times 0.054 equals $10.80. This is your target unit. Step 2. Multiply your target unit by 1.1. $10.80 times 1.1 is $11.88. This is your first tier wager. Step 3. To calculate the subsequent tiers, multiply your loss by 2.1. $11.88 times 2.1 is $24.95. $24.95 times 2.1 is $52.39. $52.39 times 2.1 is $110.02. Your 4-tier optimal martingale system for $200 is $11.88, $24.95, $52.39, and $110.02. As soon as you win one bet, you recalculate. One win would give you $210. 210 times 0.054 is $11.34. This is your new optimal unit. I then calculate the 4 tiers like I did before and come out to $12.47, $26.19, $55 even, and $115.50. This looks like a minimal difference, but it will allow you to double your money in 14 bets instead of 20. In turning $200 into $1,600 by optimizing the system, you reach the goal 18 bets faster than you would the other way. That is an entire month faster using the SCS system. There are betting limits in most sports books, so you will need to reach an equilibrium. We will set this amount at $2,000 per month. If you were to try to make $10,000, you would exceed the betting limits for most sports books if you reach the 4th tier of your martingale system. The solution to this problem is simple. You will want to open accounts in multiple sports books. 5 times 2,000 equals 10,000. Let's say you open 5 accounts starting with $100 apiece. If you double your money every 1 to 2 months, it will take 5 to 10 months to grow this money to $2,500 per account. The optimum unit for $2,500 is $132. At 15 wins per month, this would give you $2,025. 2,025 times 5 is $10,125. Let's say you're interested in doing this, but you are not comfortable risking $500. You can start with as little as $100. In 3 months, you can build that $100 to $800. At this point, you can take out $400 and open the other 4 accounts. You can reach $10,000 a month in 13 months, starting with just $100. This all sounds good in theory, but can the sports cash system really produce these kinds of results? Here are the results from December 10th to February 8th, 2013. During this time, the system produced 36 wins. If you use the compounding method I outlined, you could have more than quadrupled your money during this 60-day period. See the SCS Picks document to view these picks for yourself. The final step before you start milking the cash cow is to put enough money aside so you are not starting from scratch if you sustain a loss. Sports betting is a high-risk venture. We must respect it as such. Let's take a moment and ask some of the hard questions, the ones that you will never see on the flashy, overhyped sales pitches for systems like this. The kind of questions that would make these people squirm. If this system is so great, why are these guys selling it? Why don't they just use it to make millions betting on sports? The answer to this question actually has to do with the sports books. The books are in the business of making money, not giving it away. When you get too big, sports books will limit you, alter your spreads, or outright ban you. Pro bettors have ways around this, but it is a difficult game of cat and mouse. They hire runners to place bets for them. When the books sniff out these runners, these big hitters have to find new ones to replace them. If that was not difficult enough, these runners will often steal from them. You can read about this in Michael Connick's book called Smart Money and Beth Raymer's book called Lay the Favorite. If you have a system that works effectively, it is easier to make large sums of money by selling your picks through a touting service. Instead of playing this high-stakes cat and mouse game, you can sell your picks to thousands of small bettors. Let's say you have 1,000 customers. The basic SCS system costs $60 per month. 60 times 1,000 is 60,000. This is a monthly subscription. Multiply that times 12, and you come out to $720,000 in 1 year. Now scale that number up by several thousand customers, and you begin to see why these people would sell their picks rather than keep them secret. These guys are likely making 8 figures a year with this program. It would be very difficult for a big bettor to move that kind of action in the sports books. These guys will never tell you that because they want you to buy their product. They want you to have dollar signs in your eyes. If they make more money selling the system than they can by using it, what is to stop them from selling a system that doesn't work? There are a lot of touting services that do just that. However, if a company wants to survive long term, they need to deliver what they promise. Word will spread quickly from angry customers if they want to cheat people for a quick buck. John Morrison's Sports Betting Champ is a prime example of this. Though his company is still going strong, there are a lot of angry customers who have been burned by him. One such customer posted the entire system online for free. Noted member of the SBR forum, Justin Seven, broke news about a scandal between Sports Betting Champ and BetUS. You can see this on YouTube. John Morrison's reputation is toast. Before I decided to promote this product, I became a customer. My decision to promote it was based on the results I've gotten by actually using it. When I wrote the pendulum cycle theory, my goal was to create my own touting service. The SCS system was hitting at such a high rate that I chose to become an affiliate instead. I heard that no system can possibly beat the Edge. What makes this any different? There are a lot of experts out there that claim the martingale system and all of its variations do not work. Systems do not change the odds. The idea is correct if the odds remain the same for each bet you place. This is true of games like roulette or craps. The edge in these games are random. Sports betting is different. If a heavy favorite loses to a heavy underdog, this greatly affects the point spread in the next game. It will make the spread weaker, and the martingale system is perfectly suited to exploit this phenomenon. The point spread is a free market system which is subject to public opinion. By gauging that opinion, you can track and forecast games where the odds are favorable to you. This is what my book, The Pendulum Cycle Theory, is all about. The Wizard of Odds website is one of the biggest critics of betting systems there is. He has put a tremendous amount of energy into telling people how bad systems are. I managed to find a rare quote admitting that systems can work. Here is a question fielded to the wizard from an anonymous visitor. His answer is clear proof of the validity of systems. I know you say that betting strategies don't work because of the negative expectation built into most games, but what about when the player has the advantage? Do betting strategies work under these conditions? Anonymous. Yes. If the player had an advantage, a betting system could not help but work in the long run. The reason is the house player advantage is immutable. Betting systems cannot change it. The wizard. In other words, if the sportscast system gives the player the advantage, then the betting system cannot help but work in the long run. Check out thewizardofodds.com and you will see just how critical of betting systems this guy is. He is one of the premier experts in the field, and here is a quote admitting that systems can work. The proper question to ask is not, does the system work? The right question is, does the sportscast system give the player the advantage? Given what I have seen of this company, I would have to say yes. Isn't this risky? Yes, it is. The people at the sportscast system would probably not be too pleased with me telling you this, but it is what it is. There is no guarantee that you will not hit a 4-game losing streak at any given time. If you hit such a streak, the loss is total. That is why I do not recommend you shovel huge amounts of money into this. Start with a small amount and grow the money. Risk can be managed. Common sense will tell you not to bet money that you can't afford to lose. On the flip side of this, common sense also dictates if you risk nothing, you gain nothing. It would be unwise to pass up such an opportunity just because there is risk involved. Start small and work your way up to a large amount. If you crash and burn, you will not be devastated. According to the videos I have watched, these guys have only hit a 4-game losing streak twice in the 6 years they've been in business. I cannot verify this, but if you take them at their word, then the reward far outweighs the risk. I can only go by what I've seen with my own eyes and can tell you I have not seen them hit a 4-game losing streak yet. When you consider that they send you a game to bet on every day, this is astounding. It is very rare to find an opportunity such as this. This is like finding Microsoft back in the early 90s, or investing in silver in the early 2000s when it was $3 an ounce. Don't let this one pass you by. Fill in your contact info below and I will email you a link to the Sports Cash System. I will also send you a free copy of The Pendulum Cycle Theory. This book alone could help you start making money in sports if you want to do the research. The advantage of the Sports Cash System is all the hard work is done for you. How would $10,000 a month change your life? There are few opportunities that can get you there starting with so little. You could be living that life in just a few months. Sign up today, and we'll see you on the other side.